It's going to be the first edition of, Paradox tutorials. We're probably going to name it better, but, later on. But every Thursday I'm trying to do, like, Thursday tutorials, that kind of thing. And we're going to start off today with a Flash tutorial where I'll put it up right now.
You want to race with Crocs on?
I'll bet you $20 I'll win.
Alright, $20 to the fence and back.
Alright.
3, 2, 1, go!
Ow!
That required 3 actual clips. 3, 2, 1, go!
Ow!
Okay. Now both of you, get out of the way.
Look at how bad his running form is.
We need like a base plate, obviously. So we need a base plate where it's just the background, where we have right here. It's just the background right here. So I put it on the second half and you'll see why, but if I do extend it, it could be the entire thing. All right, so I already had another clip here, which is perfectly usable. So what I've done is the first clip, right? We needed him to be cut offsets. So this is Vishwan Pranch, right? And then he disappears around here. So he disappears here. So then I've masked him out. This entire thing, I've masked him out. Made sure he's not in the clip until he finishes reaction. It keeps going, I think. Yeah, it keeps going. And it keeps going, yeah. So he's still standing here, right? So the same thing. So I've just, I've covered that basically. And so the base thing, that's how it is. So this is the base. 3, 2,
or
the base edit, I would say.
Ow!
No lightning, it looks kind of dead. No color grade. So what I've done here is, if I show you this right here, so I already actually downloaded the Justice League Flash, like the scene, where basically it shows like a little bit of how they've done his, because I took inspiration from that. And basically you see the Speed Force sort of, influence the Flash and stuff. So I wanted to add that, where basically it was like the concept of like anticipation, where you give your audience like a little bit of like, warning almost to like something's about to happen, So with this one, it's turbulent displacement. You'll see if I turn off the turbulent displacement. 3, 2, 1, go! Right, he just gets up, right? He just starts running, right? But this one, if you add the turbulent displacement, which I'll show you how to do, it adds a little bit of complexity and a little bit of anticipation. Like, okay, something's about to happen right here. So as soon as anybody's watching this part, it's like, okay, he's about to launch, right? He's about to launch off. And turbulent displacement is just an effect where you can find the effects panel right here. Takes a few seconds to load sometimes, but just type in turbulent displacement. Displace right here. So you just add that to the clip. Now this is actually an adjustment layer, and if you don't know what an adjustment layer is, it's just an empty layer that you can just add effects and it'll affect everything below it, basically. But this one's affecting below this one. That's why none of these clips have any turbulent displacement. See right here, nothing's moving, right? So we can literally crop this anyways because nothing's moving. So what I've done here is right here, turbulent displacement. That's the animation right here, right? So if I just do turbulent displacement, not these, we see these are the animations right here. The amount and the evolution of the main things. Now what I wanted to do is I wanted his background to move, not him. Because if I deleted this layer right here, if I did nothing of this, everything would move. He'd move with it, right? It'd look a little bit weird. Because he's not supposed to get affected by it. He's supposed to be the one that's causing it almost. So I set that to difference, and that's why it's the background. Because the brown one is outside, and I've subtracted the inside. So it's just this layer, just around him. Nothing around him will move either. So what I've done is just at the start, I set it to the amount 0. I set it to a good amount at the end, 14, all that. And then obviously reduce it by the end over here. And then we just evolution. All that does is just, cause that effect. You see if I keep moving it, move it faster and stuff. So just add a little bit of that just for that effect. And then over here we see when he comes back, I've cut the clip right here. All I've added is a fast blur. So That was the original. If you added the fast blur, if you don't add the fast blur, that's the original, where this is the only part. So if I solo that, you'll see it's only this, right? And because we have the visual clip right here, it adds into this, right? So it's just behind it. And another thing that I've done is actually, so first you add the video blur, right? All right, we go all the way back here. So what I've done is, again, amount, you press the stopwatch to start animating. At the start of the clip, it's a lot, and then it slowly reduces after like 4 or 5 frames. It reduces back down to like, okay, he's done. He's back. Stops moving. So that's very easy to do, I would say. And I noticed this kid, right? I noticed this kid in the back. If I open up the mask, this kid right here, right? So if I do it, nothing to that. So the kid's initially not there, actually. He's getting a bit covered, right? So what I want to do is subtract him so that, he'd still be in the shot. So that's actually from, like, just to show, like, that's actually something, like, detailed, I guess. Because some people would notice it. Overall, like, he doesn't move, basically. He doesn't move from his place. There's no, like, off-putting, like, okay, the kid's gone, so I know how you did that kind of moment. So I wanted to add that there as well. So that's it. So there's 3 clips. That's just the base edit, right? Now if we go into the the juicy part, which is the lightning, what I've done here, you'll notice a bunch of things if I go in slow motion, right? You see sparks, you see random flashes, you see the lightning come before, possibly sparks still flying, the lightning on his body right after, and then the sparks are still there. So what I wanted to do is, I wanted to add this right here. Which is this is what I was talking about, which is the anticipation, where basically you can see it's like moving right a little bit, and the lightning starts. So lightning starts first, and then the turbulent displacement, the flashes, everything adds up. Everything shows you that, okay, something's about to happen. And obviously, judging by whatever retitle and stuff, you'd already know it's a flash edit. But if I didn't tell you that, regardless, it'd be something to do with flash. You'd notice something with lightning and stuff, and all the flashes, exactly like the Justice League trailer. I just want to match it to Ezra Miller's because I think it's the coolest. Like, obviously the Flash TV show has some good effects, but overall, it's a bit more complex for the movie one, which makes more sense, obviously, the budget and stuff like that. Right, so what I've noticed in like real lightning footages as well, like I didn't really do that much research for this, but everybody knows that, is just the fact that, before lightning, or even like during a thunderstorm at least, the clouds randomly flash bright, like they randomly flash, and then the lightning is, even if you see it, like the lightning's there in the middle of the flashes. So that's what I want to do here, where it's a bunch of flashes randomly, obviously anticipation as well, but also for that realism. So what I've done with the flashes, I just took a flare from online. I masked these out for like 1 frame, not that big of a deal. You just take this, mask them out with the thing, and then you can set their stuff. So you want this to be subtract, obviously, because you don't want them to be affected by the flash. And this one you want set to add because you want it to be affected by the flash. And obviously mask feathering. If you don't know what that does, we're basically, it just, look at that. That would be the actual clip, right? If I didn't do it to it, so I'm trying to feather it out to make sure that it fits. It's like a light in the scene. And I've added a bunch of those around. And what I've done with the lightning is actually Saber, right? So Saber plugin is by Video Copilot, and if I just solo that, you'll see that it's just there, and then I add these lightning. So this is all hand framed or hand keyed or whatever with the pen tool. Again, if I do it right now, right, that'll be lightning as well. So it's all just hand framed, just like going little by little, every frame, just a little bit tweaks, just to make sure people will be like, or not people will be like, but the edit will be like a bit more complex, and like lightning moves around just like the Flash in the movie and stuff like that. So I wanted that there, and I had a bunch of layers. Obviously you can see all these black solids are lightning layers. I had a Flash go from down to all the way to where his hand is to make it seem like, you know, he put his hand up. So we had to add that right there. Or else why would he do that, stuff like that. So I wanted to add a little bit of like zap to his hand as well. And you'll notice that we have a layer, that I have a layer here that lightning shows up before. That's just 3 again, hand keyframed. For the keyframing, you use mask path. You press that button, make sure to press it, and every keyframe moves. So added that there, and then it disappears slowly. I have 2 little lightning ones here for the last effect right there. And if you notice sparks as well, I wanted sparks because if you see, I have 6 sparklers right there. So without the sparks, it'll be a bit more, like the edit will be a bit more dead. It'll just be, you know, him moving, right? Nothing's really affecting the environment, affecting the world like the real Flash would. So I wanted that effect to be there. So I've added all these sparks, right? Now it's affecting everything. You know, it's real lightning, you know, it's real power that he has. And you see in the back as well, like this is just an add-on, right? The spark hits in the back, I think it's this one, yep. Spark hits in the back. I have a mask there too, just to mask Vishwa out there so the sparks go behind him, right? That's straightforward, because let's see, if I turn off the mask, you know, look at that, look. It'll just be over him. It's like, where did the sparks come from, you know? So, put that on subtract, and it just didn't go there. It looked like it went back to the ground, right? And overall, that's all it took, right? There's no need for a better explanation than this, or like a more detailed explanation, because overall, it's just, you know, I went base by base. If you see this, like, the sparks go down under, right? And that is because, you know, another mask. So, we have a mask right here, basically. I've masked it to the plane on the ground, right? So it just fades out on the ground as if it's hitting the ground. Right, another thing that I added as well, like on top of this, all of these little details that nobody will notice, but like, you know, you just have to add them because it's the same thing as like I've been showing you, right? So lens dirt, look, you didn't probably even notice that was there. I'll show you without the lens dirt. 3, 2, 1, go!
Ow! Ow!
You know, like, it feels kind of empty to me. If nobody else feels that way, that's fine, but it feels a bit empty, and this one just adds a little bit of just, like, you know, almost like professional editing quality. Just, and it just fades out nicely as well. So, overall, like, that matters as well. Now, the other thing that matters is, obviously, the music and stuff like that, which you've seen in the final output, and the color grading that I've added here. So this color grading just basically accentuates the blue lights and the blue lightning, right? So it is the adjustment layer, and I've just, you know, made the scene darker. So what this had to do is I made the scene darker to where, you know, it makes more sense for the lightning, because if I did this, then everything would be bright, so lightning wouldn't be that bright. So the way I did this was to just show that the lightning is there, like, nicely. Lens dirt, stuff like that. Everything just made sense to do. Yeah. And with the final touches as well, you get this, and yeah, that's how we do it. So hopefully I'll show you a preview of the Harry Potter scene that we did, and next Thursday we will be putting on another tutorial about it. Same way, it'll be the same way. It'll be just me talking about it, just explaining stuff. It won't be a play-by-play. Like, I'm not going to be able to do a play-by-play just because it has taken that long for it to be in one full video. And it's a little bit of, like, you know, I have to be able to do it as well because I don't know about this. Like, this is the first time I'm doing an editing tutorial. So, you know, give me feedback, give us feedback. We can definitely change stuff here at Paradox.
Thanks for watching. Look out for more content and check out these videos if you haven't yet.